to week 4 of this mini branding training for creative entrepreneurs, for artists, for creatives, performers, anybody who is in the creative sphere. This is week 4. If you haven't watched from the beginning, I would highly recommend going back, starting at video 1 and going through numerically, because each video builds upon the other. But if you just really want a quick snap of how to do a certain thing, you're more than welcome to take it a video at a time, because this one in particular is a big one. And I kind of feel like if you only watched one branding mini training, this would be the one to watch. And so if you just started here, kudos, you're on the right one. I don't have a lot of non-negotiables or things that I feel like people have to do when it comes to creating their brand or starting off as a creative entrepreneur. But this one is the one that every creative needs to have. Performer, writer, entrepreneur. Are you ready for it? I think you already know what it is. It is a website. This video tells you and spills all the tea as to why you need it, and it really doesn't need any other introduction other than the fact that don't forget to download your show notes in the video description below. It is chock full of summary. It's got your work that you need to do, your brand work, to get everything that you're learning on this video and implement it into your life. Without further ado, let's find out all about your website. Hello, welcome to day 4 of branding for performers and creatives. And today, super short lesson, because I really want you to go into full-blown action. So you might be wondering, what is the number one thing? I mean, she's been saying all 4 days, you know, and a week before when I was promoting it, what your brand and you as an artist and performer need to have. Like, it's a non-negotiable. And I never say that because I really feel like everybody's journey is different. But this is the one thing that I have to give some tough love and put my stamp on and go, no, you need to have this. And that is a website. That's right. Super simple. Not really, but it is. You need a website because everything now is going digital, right? So you're on stage, somebody sees you for the first time performing, or they see you at an author signing, or they see your artwork. What is the first thing that they're going to do, even while they're probably there watching you, is they're going to grab their phone and they're going to Google you, right? They're going to Google the fuck out of you. And if your website is not the first thing that pops up when people Google you, you are not in control of your brand or your image. And let me tell you why. Because social media, I love social media, is going to come and go. I mean, you remember MySpace. I still have my MySpace account. Friendster. Those all basically fell by the wayside now in 2017. And who knows where Facebook, where Twitter, where Instagram is going to be, or what the next evolvement of social media is going to be. And so if you are just relying on social media to promote yourself and promote your brand and to get your work out there, that's no bueno. That's not a good way to take control of who you are and your brand and your business. So the one thing that is non-negotiable is a website. And that is your assignment for today. Is if you don't have, if you are basically starting from scratch, I want you to buy your domain name. And you can go to, I have some resources in the show notes. You can go to GoDaddy.com, buy a super cheap, I mean, I think you can get it for the first year for $6 or less than that. And then the following year, it'll probably be like $12 to $13, but it's for the year. You're buying your domain name for a year. Buy your domain name. If somebody else has, say your name is Jennifer Gonzalez, and you know there's a bazillion and somebody already owns your domain name, then find a version. If you have a nickname or a name that you go by, if you have a performer name, if you have a pen name, use that name. Use something that's already associated with you. That way it's not like lovelykitten.com, because it's not searchable. You're not being announced on stage as Lovely Kitten. You're being announced as Brandi Skyy. And so I own my domain name. If you can get your name, get your name. And if you do already have your domain name, then I want you to look into hosting. So in addition, when you get a website, in addition to your domain name, which you have to purchase, you also have to have a web hoster, right? So you need a place that is going to house your website. And so I use Bluehost, right? So that's my hosting. And I buy my domain names from Bluehost because if I don't, they charge, when I transfer it over to Bluehost, they charge me extra. So if you're wanting to do steps 1 and 2 today, i.e. get a domain name and get web hosting, I recommend you getting your domain name from whatever web hosting place you're looking at, right? So WordPress.com is probably the best freebie site. You can actually get your name and a blog up for free at WordPress. It'll just say like brandiamarsky.wordpress.com. But you can get your site up and running if you really want to. But I would recommend you need to own your domain name. Like, it'll literally cost you $7, 2 lattes, even 1 latte at Starbucks. Just get your domain name. If you're looking, like I said, if you want to do part 1 and part 2 together, then I would definitely look into getting your domain name with your web host. I have used iPages. I'm not a fan of that anymore. I know a couple people use GoDaddy. I have never used them for hosting. I've bought domain names for cheap because I have an obsession with buying domain names that I think of. It's really weird. I own like 50 domain names. But if you're just wanting to grab your name so nobody else grabs it, then just go through GoDaddy. But if you're not, if you're wanting to go ahead and kind of get a website up, which I would highly recommend you doing, then I would get your domain name with your hosting. And Bluehost is awesome. They also do, I think for first-time users for domain and for hosting, they do discounts. So you might want to look into that. WordPress, I really recommend, but with WordPress, if you want to add widgets, if you want to be able to customize your website, you'll have to buy into a plan, but it's still super cheap. But those are the 2 that I highly recommend you start looking at, Bluehost and WordPress for both your domain and hosting. So say you already have you're professional, you're cool, you're 3 steps ahead of me, and you have your domain name and you have a website and you have a hosting and you actually have a website up. I want you to look over your website and make a list of things that you know that are outdated, that need to be changed, and that you would like to add. And I would love for you to add your manifesto to that, which is actually a sneak into what we're going to be doing for our last day, which is ruling the world. Go out there, get a website. It will literally change how you operate, not just performance-wise, but how you interact with people. I know that once I got my website and I handed out business cards, or people were like, where can I find you? It's not like I'm just listing out social media. I'm like, you can find me and my words and highlights of my career and my writing at brandiamarsky.com, right? It's a home. It's a digital online home, and it should be the very first thing that pops up when you Google your name. Okay? So just to reiterate and repeat, because I really honestly believe that this is one of those things that cannot be said enough times, you need a website. You don't have to go all in. Just start with your domain name in the show notes. Go through and just start at the very, very beginning. Get a domain name. Own your domain. It is so important for you to control how the world sees you and researches you, and the way that you do that is through your website. But I feel like this is one of those areas that a lot of creatives get caught up and get like stuck in. So I want to know, what has been your one issue or obstacle to starting a website? I mean, I think you pretty much know at this point that you need to have a website, but what is the one thing that's been stopping you? Drop it in the comments below. We can workshop it together. But whatever you do, go out, get your domain right now, download the show notes, It walks you through step by step how to do that. And next week, we are going to take a mini break in this training before we finish off with day 5. I have something that has been on my heart and on my chest for a while that has to do with drag, and I have a really big announcement about drag as well. So I just wanted to take a break, take a breather, let you implement the stuff that you're learning now, and I really just want to share something from the center and heart of me. So we're going to take a mini break, and we will circle back to day 5 of this training after next week. So if I am not, you know what? It didn't matter, because you're probably watching this not on the day. If you are, you get it. You understand. Not next week. The week after will be the final video, 5, in this week's mini training. I love you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know how is your brand going, and share this with anybody that you know that needs to get their brand on. Until then, go forth, be the slay you wish to see, flawlessly, and in Lisa Frank style. See? Have a good evening. Bye.